Hello guys, welcome to the Java tutorials channel. My name is Raghu. So here I am going to teach core Java for absolute beginners. So beginners, when I say beginners, those people who know some of the computer programming languages like C or C++, etc. And also those who are new to computer programming and they want to learn core Java concepts. So without much further ado, let's start. So I'm not going to tell you all the things about how Java was founded, who founded it, how it developed. So you can just get these details easily over the internet. So I'm going to cover those details which are much required to learn the language. So let's start with what is a programming language. So let's start with what is a programming language. So right now I'm communicating to you and you're understanding it. So how are you understanding? Because you know the language which I am speaking to you. So very similarly, if you want the computer or the machine to do something, so you'll have to communicate with it. So you require a language. So the computer cannot understand English like we all humans do. So there comes the requirement of a language. So programming language can be described as it is a language which is used to write instructions So basically in a programming language you write instructions. So this programming language can be classified into two types. One is low level programming language and the other one is high level programming language. So now let's see what is a low level programming language. So a low level programming language is one which is easily understandable and executable. Understandable and executable by a machine. So for example, binary language. So binary language is nothing but consists of zeros and ones, as you already know. And now let's see what is a high level programming language. So a high level programming language is one which is easily readable, understandable instructable by a programmer. For examples, you can say Java, C#, Python, etc. etc. So by now you have come to know that Java is a high-level programming language. So why I'm saying these definitions is the machine understands binary language, that is zeros and ones. So we use high-level programming language to give instructions. So using the program's syntax and semantics, we give instructions to the computer because we cannot directly code using the binary language. So there comes the use of high-level programming languages such as Java, C#, Python. So now let's list some properties of Java language. So one you already know, it is a high-level programming language. High-level programming language. You can say it is a simple language. And very importantly, Java is a platform independent language. You'll get to know about this later in this video. So here a source code generated by Java is compiled once and it can be executed any number of times in any system which has JVM installed in it. So JVM is nothing but Java Virtual Machine. So how do you install it? I will tell you all the details. So it means that platform independent means once you compile it in any machine, so first let me tell you what is a platform. So I am using a Windows platform, Windows 10. So you might be using the same, or Windows 7 or Mac, so anything like that. So you can write programs in any platform using Java, and you can execute in any other platforms, and only one condition is that the platform should have JVM installed. So you can write a program in any platform, compile it, and once compiled you can execute the same program in any platform irrespective of the platform. So now let's see what is a bytecode. We'll go step by step so that you get to know about what exactly is Java, so before going to all the programming stuff. So bytecode is an intermediate language which is generated by the Java compiler. So this bytecode is understandable and executable in a machine which has JVM, is Java Virtual Machine, installed. So now we will elaborate something more about how does Java achieve platform independence. So Java source code created. Source code is nothing but a program which you are going to create. So it is not directly, the source code is not directly converted to native machine language. But it is not directly converted to zeros and ones. Instead, first it is converted to an intermediate language called as bytecode. So, and this bytecode is executable in a machine of any platform which has Java Virtual Machine installed in it. So we have Java Virtual Machines available for different platforms. So hence we say Java is a platform independent language. And one more thing we need to note here, that we cannot execute bytecode in a system which doesn't have JVM. So Java Virtual Machine is very much required to execute Java programs. Java Virtual Machine is easily available. I will tell you how to install it. So, and one more thing about Java is that it comes with very rich built-in tools, or you can say built-in libraries. And it supports OOPS concept. It is nothing but object oriented programming. So here you can just say OOP, object oriented programming. So hence Java is also known as object oriented programming language. So we'll just see how Java executes a program. So step number 1 is we create the source code. First we create the source code. Then the compiler compiles the source code into a bytecode. Bytecode is nothing but a intermediate language. And then execute the bytecode. These are the steps to write a create and execute a simple Java program. So now we'll know how to create the source code. So source code can easily be created with the use of an editor like Notepad or Notepad+. And we can also use some advanced editors like Eclipse, Atom, etc. But for now, I recommend you using simple editors like Notepad or Notepad+. These advanced editors, that is Eclipse and Atom, they're also called as IDEs, that is Integrated Development Environments. So right now you don't require this. So you'll also use this Eclipse and Atom, but not now. So now let's start with using Notepad. And the most important things while creating a source code is that a Java file or a source code file should always have an extension .java. Okay, and compiling. So how does it get compiled? Compiling the .java file, compiling the .java file or the source code. So here it must be compiled with the help with the help of a Java compiler. So if you just install this JDK, it's known as Java Development Kit. So all these Java compiler, everything will come in one kit, that is JDK. So I will make a video, I will show you how to install the JDK. JDK. So here the compiler, the name of the compiler Java uses is Javac. It checks for, so what is the job of the compiler? So it checks for the syntax and semantics. There's nothing but the rules and regulations of the source code, and if everything is, that is, if all the rules and syntax and semantics are followed, then if everything is correct, if everything is correct, so the compiler will generate the bytecode. Bytecode will be generated. So once you create source code and you compile it, the Java compiler will check for the syntax and semantics, and if everything is right, bytecode will be generated. So where is it going to create this bytecode? This bytecode will be generated in a file called as class file, and the extension given to this class file is dot class. So here now we will see how the execution of this dot class file is going to happen. So dot class file is executed with the help of Java command. So the Java command is available in JDK. So now I will let you know a simple Java program, that is the structure of a Java program. So first we write something called as class. So this is how you are going to start writing the source code, that is coding. Class space class name. So whatever name you give to the class, you need to mention it after typing class. Then you are going to put a curly brace. You are going to declare some methods. So these details you will get to know in the further classes, because if I get to the details of this, you will get confused now. So just make sure that you type these. It is public static void main, and inside the parenthesis you have to give string, an array, and args. So next you need to open one more curly brace, and then here you are going to type all the statements. So in Java, every statement is going to end with a semicolon. Then you close the method block. Method is nothing but a function. This is the method. Main method is called as a main method. So this is the method block. So here I have closed the method block, and you have to close this class block. So this whole thing is the class, this whole thing is, until this, this whole thing is called as a class block. So you can see this whole thing is under this class, so this is called as a class block. And from here to here, so whatever is under this two curly braces, it is under this main method, so we can call it as a method block. So let's start with our first program. So we can name it as class space first program. Let's open the class block, then declare the required details. Is public static void main, string args. So just don't think much about this now, we'll get to know about these things later. Open the method block, So in this program, let's just print a line. So to print something in Java, the statement what we should use is system.out.println, and we are going to say hello Java. Going to close within the parenthesis, and whatever you're going to print should be within the double quotes. Close the method block, close the class block. So this is a simple Java program. And while you're saving this program, oh sorry, there is a spelling mistake here. So according to the industry conventions in the sense, so what the industry is following right now is that the name of the file which you are going to save, name of the source code file which you are going to save, should always be the same name given to the class. So hence this first program file, if you are going to save, should be saved as first program.java. So you can see all the uppercase letters and the lowercase letters should be the same as the class name. So the extension should be .java. So the command to compile this program is javac space first program.java. So we are going to do it practically later. So once it compiles, if the compilation is successful, that is, if there are no errors in the program, a class file will be automatically generated. It will have the extension first program.class. So once the compilation is successfully done, we can execute the program. That is, we can execute the class file, you can say class file, by using the command java space first program. So you are going to get the output as hello Java. So in the next video guys, I'm going to show how to install the JDK with Java Development Kit. I'll do it step by step and you can follow it. So once it is installed, we will execute the same program and we will move ahead with some more details about the Java program. That is, we will cover what are the tokens in Java, like keywords, identifiers, literals, separators, and some rules are there. So look into it everything. So, and we will start with programming also. So thank you guys for watching this video. So if you like, just give a thumbs up. So I'll come up with the installation of Java and writing the first program. So I'll see you there. See you in the next video. Thank you so much. Bye bye.